Welcome to another episode of Tailgate with the Tullies. I'm CJ,
I'm Ryan.
and today we're going to talk some college game day experience, as well as looking at our first looks here at what the college playoffs could be this year. Brian, how was your experience?
My experience was pretty good. Got up there at like 6:30-ish, long line, kind of a mad rush to get into the pit. Obviously, I wasn't able to get into the pit. I was a little late, but sitting on the outside, very cold morning, no accessible bathrooms. It's a lot of standing for 4 hours. Fun experience. Wasn't there too long either, but would I do it again? Absolutely not. It was a great one-time thing. I think it's kind of like the Super Bowl parade where it was like so much fun, but like you probably wouldn't do it again.
I would so do that again.
Would do it again, but like some people said they wouldn't. I would do that again. I would not do College Game Day again. How
Yeah.
about you?
Um, well, you say you got there at 6. I got there 10:30 the night before. That was an experience, a lot of craziness. I think there could have been handled better, but we got in around 6:30, 7-ish. It was a great time. I mean, we had a great spot. As you'll see here, we got on TV. Tailgate with the Tullies made it live.
Yeah.
Um, so that was really cool. It was a great vibe. I mean, they play great music and everything, so that was cool. And just
Yeah.
being able to see the show live. I mean, you have Nick Saban, Pat McAfee, Kurt Hertry, like some big name people just right in front of you. So that was really cool. I agree. I don't know if it's something I'll do again, just based on how people handled it, but I do think it was a really cool experience. And as like a sports fan, it was really cool to be there and be a part of that. And again, really cool to just be able to put our name out there.
Yeah, we got shirts. We got shirts, so that was always a reward.
You get shirt. Free stuff is
Free
always
stuff. That's how you get people going.
that
That's
is.
what gets people going.
But that game day was leading into Penn State versus Ohio State, a 3v4 seed. Game should have been nationally televised, late night.
Yep.
It sucks. Um,
It sucks.
but it was a lot of fun. Me and Lizzie went. But yes, going into the game, we did go to the game. I know you didn't get in, but it was the biggest crowd in Penn State Stadium history. I think it was 111,000 people. So that was really cool. A lot of Ohio State fans honestly surprised me a little bit, but it is a big matchup. Penn State was not able to pull this one out at home. They do fall back to the 6th seed after this. They
Hmm.
had a chance, 4 plays from I believe the 4 yard line or so, just couldn't get it done. Ohio State takes over and just milked the clock at that point. It was a good game coming down to it. It's just Penn State couldn't get it done. Now you have Penn State coming in this week in whiteout. I'll be there as well, so I have an update for you guys there. But
Oh,
do you have any thoughts on that game alone?
the Ohio State one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fact that Penn State had all the momentum and then got dog walked down the field is an embarrassment to the school. The fact that they had the pick six that should have easily just brought all the momentum and like won them the game essentially, and then they just lost it the rest of the game. And I think that that was the difference. The fact they couldn't score on offense at all, those things lead to losses. I know Ohio State's been shaken up and hasn't been playing well, so you had a chance to win this game and jump up to like the 2 or 3 seed, and you couldn't.
No, I mean that was Penn State's real shot here. They are still going to make the playoffs. That really didn't get bumped back, and they don't really have any competition coming forward. Was that?
So unfortunately,
I thought you said we'll see. But this week, along with that game, we did get our first look here at what the college playoff 12-team format will be. Have it up here for you guys, but right now, it's a Boise State will play Ohio State. It's 12 versus the 5. Notre Dame would play Penn State at 9v8. That would be a crazy good game. I would definitely try and get into that. And you'd have Alabama at Texas, 11 versus 6, and Indiana versus Tennessee at 10v7. Any thoughts on those games?
I have it 7-10 Penn State Notre Dame and 8-9 Indiana Tennessee.
Okay, you might be right. It's not where I have.
Um, something I want to say, I want to say about the game is I think that Penn State is a one and done. I think that they haven't been able to prove that they could beat a top team and like ever. Uh, Notre Dame obviously is another fraudulent team, so kind of a battle of frauds of who wants to lose, who wants to beat a good team for once. Um, all right, my bad. I don't. NBC Chicago is a fraudulent news site. I'm sorry, but
That's from the McAfee show.
okay. I trust Pat McAfee. I saw him live. But Texas Alabama could be a really good game. I know that Alabama's been struggling this year, but they're always going to be good. They have probably one of the top drafted quarterbacks from this year. So I would be excited to see that. And I'm really excited to see Boise State in there. Ashton Genty has been having that team on their back all year, so that'll be really exciting to see in the playoffs.
Do you think
You
he
got
hits a wall at any point?
I mean, he kind of has. He's still putting up great numbers,
I
but
mean, he's
he's
only putting up like 180 right now.
yeah, I know. But like no, like their 1 week he had like 40 rushes for like 110. So like yeah, his numbers are going down, but I mean he is the offense. So I don't know. You got any games that you're excited to see?
As I said, that Notre Dame Penn State, just based on having a girlfriend who goes to Penn State and Notre Dame being my team this year, I think that please, please play like a champion today. Um, but I think that would be a great game. Indiana Tennessee is also very interesting. I'm big with Tennessee this year. I think I had them finishing sixth or so. But playing Indiana, a very surprising team this year. They
Hmm.
have a few games coming up that might bump them a bit, but
Ohio State.
yeah, Ohio State game that's on November 23rd, so that would be right before everything really shakes out here. So that would be an interesting game. I also want to put forward that the top four teams would be Oregon 1, Georgia 2, Miami 3, BYU 4. So those teams would play coming out. But yeah, those teams would be interesting. I don't see Boise State being much of a playoff threat. I mean, Gentie's been great, but playing Ohio State, and I don't see them making a real run. I also don't know if they're going to make it because there are some great teams here behind. So I'll just go through the rankings as of right now. You have Oregon 1, Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, Texas, Penn State, Tennessee 7, Indiana 8, BYU, Notre Dame, Alabama, Boise State. So that's your top 12. That's what they got in the playoffs right now. Following that, you have SMU is 8-1. You have LSU 6-2, Texas A&M 7-2, and Ole Miss 7-2. I think LSU could make a jump in here and bump one of these teams out. And I really think it could be Alabama taking the brunt of it here. If they let in two SEC teams with three losses, I think that would be interesting because coming up this weekend, you have Alabama at LSU. And I think that game should be like amped up as do or die game. I don't think both of those teams should be able to go in, especially with the way they're ranked currently. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. With
Um, what did you say? I'm sorry.
With that being a do or die, do you believe it should be two teams at 6-2?
I don't really like the way that they do it. I think if you lose two games, you should kind of be eliminated. Obviously, it changes with the way that they're doing it this year. I do think that this is a do or die game, though. Whoever wins this game is probably going to get that second slot in there and be the playoff team. So yeah, I'm excited. I didn't know they played this week, so that I'm actually excited for that one.
Yeah, that'd be a great game. Another interesting game, you have Georgia playing a lot of top teams here coming up. I don't know if they get upset in any of these. They are home for both, or maybe I think they're away versus Ole Miss, and then they're home versus Tennessee. That
Hmm.
could be a great opportunity for Tennessee to bump up a bit here. And again, that would give Georgia another loss. They've already got one this season.
They'd probably be bumped out.
Yeah, and Ole Miss at 7-2, they're playing with a little chip. They could knock Georgia. So I think that could be scary for them. As a Notre Dame fan, I'm looking at November 23rd, Army at Notre Dame. I believe they're playing at MetLife. So that'd be a big game. And Army's been playing great this year. I believe they're 18th ranked right now.
Yeah,
Um,
but Notre Dame also beat the Navy, so
they're just going through the ranks.
yeah, what the heck?
I think that'd be a scary game for them. And then, as I said, as we said, Indiana at Ohio State. I think that's another game shaking up here November 23rd. That weekend alone has a lot of great games and could really shake things up.
Yeah. Game I wanted to look at is this weekend, actually. You have Miami playing Georgia Tech. Last year, Georgia Tech upset Miami and bumped them from being able to have a chance in the playoffs. So I think that could happen again. I know some of the Miami players and Georgia players are talking about that, or Georgia Tech players are talking about that this week. So I think that's an important matchup because Georgia Tech ended Florida State's season week 1. So they're kind of looking to play spoiler here. Miami hasn't had really a competition. They really haven't played anyone, but they've
They really
been.
don't have competition coming in this back end either. I mean, if you're saying that's a rivalry
Yeah.
game, they're not playing
Well,
anybody.
no, exactly. So this is a team that they could just sneak in just because they keep winning. Like
Right.
whereas
9-0, currently 9-0.
where like Notre Dame lost to their bad team and that bumped them so far. Miami hasn't had that.
Miami's had some fluke wins though as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. But
That
I'm saying
Virginia Tech game,
they've been able to pull out wins. That's all that you need. You just pull out those wins and
yeah,
you get. They're also Michigan. I know Michigan's been down this year, but they play Indiana. Indiana's got back-to-back Big Ten matchups of Indiana or of Michigan and Ohio State. So kind of worried if you're an Indiana fan. I know you've kind of had a cakewalk again up to this point. So I mean, I don't know. The thing that bothers me the most is that Oregon hasn't had to play any real school except Ohio State.
and
And
they
because
and
Will
they wiped
Howard
the
didn't
floor
get
with them.
down one
They wiped
second,
the floor with them.
wiped the floor. They won by 1 point.
They won't.
You didn't wipe the floor.
All right, well,
But no, yeah. So I think the top like four teams will probably stay solid unless Miami's able to lose.
You think
Or
BYU stays? Well, I mean, I know it's because of conference, but you think BYU stays
yes,
here?
I do. I think that they've been having a great job over there this season. Like I've talked about a lot. I love their quarterback BYU.
Who's your
So
sleeper team coming out of here?
in the playoffs,
Yeah,
I think BYU could be a sleeper. I know they're top ranked, but that's just conference wise.
that's conference, yeah.
But like they've been playing so well, and they've been. I know they really haven't. It's a whole competition thing, but they've been playing really good. Other team I could see being kind of like a sleeper, I guess, but I don't really think they're sleepers. Like Tennessee, they're lower ranked, but they're still a top team in the league.
What do you think
So
of Texas A&M? You think they can make a jump in here? 7-2.
I don't know because they just lost this past weekend. Who was it to? But that like kind of bumped them off the track to
Still
make.
15.
They lost to South Carolina, who's unranked. So I don't know if they could really climb back into that
Yeah,
whole. And they didn't just lose to South Carolina.
right.
They got
That's sweeping
swept.
the floor.
That is
Well,
wiping.
also, I'm still looking at LSU. I think LSU wins this week. They're a very sneaky team.
I think they'd be threatening. I know they lost. They lose a lot of guys every year to the NFL, but they've been able to keep their crew together and they've been playing well. So
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments, guys, what you guys think coming out here in the playoffs. I'm CJ.
I'm Ryan.
We'll be back next week with another banger video for you guys.